Hello again, Ford Mustang lovers. Today we're going to do a little comparison between Kyosho and Auto World. They're not the same Mustang Mach 1. They are both from the 70s. This is a 71, this is a 73, I think. 73, and I have a sticker saying 71. Yeah, but I'm doing this video because you might not own either of these, and you might ask yourself, should I buy a relatively inexpensive Auto World, or do I go on eBay and pay some sort of crazy amount for the Mustang made by Kyosho? When this was brand new, it was really well priced. I bet between $6 to $10. But now, look at the prices on eBay. It's a whole different story. So naturally, they're not the same Mustang, but we can look at some general design philosophies between the brands. So I always complain about this, but the painted white headlights Auto World does, they clearly don't look as nice as transparent, lights that Kyosho does. So I'm a big fan of the Kyosho stuff. This is a really nicely defined Mustang logo. This one is a little bit different. I'm not sure what that logo is. Can't focus on it through the tree of comparison. It's maybe a smaller logo. Maybe this is actually more accurate in size though, so I'll give them credit there. What I do like about Auto World is they put license plates on, so I think that makes the car look realistic, so that's good. What I don't like is the panel gaps. I will say this is one of the better hoods as far as tightness of gaps. That's pretty tight. The problem is that's the tight panel gap and that is not. So it looks like it's been in a car accident and then taken to a shoddy repair shop. You don't get that problem when you have casted in hoods, right? That's the same width as that side, so it just looks like a more symmetric, cleaner model to me. And then very often I just, I don't even care about the engines inside because they're just not really nice, I don't know, that just doesn't excite me. Maybe it's because engines aren't really exciting to look at. You go to a car show, you look at the engine for 10 seconds, and then you never open up the hood again, right? It's a curiosity more than something one appreciates on a daily basis. So both of these do have the hood pins. Kyosho painted theirs. They both have these ram hoods. Okay, this one, I don't know, it's a different year, of course, but this is a much tighter, crisper mold. Like the crispness, the angles there. This looks a little worn down, but I'm not sure if that's the design of the hood that year or not. I bet that it's supposed to be the same hood though. So I think Auto World did a better job. Auto World very often has they always have the correct color code. I don't know if Kyosho does, but this is a nice metallic green, plain yellow. Okay, and then Auto World does very often colored plastic interiors, so I really like that as well. Kyosho, almost 99% of the time, just black plastic, so without a flashlight it's hard to see. But you can see side mirrors, that's far more realistic than a car without side mirrors, once you get past like the 50s, right? Okay, going to the, we do have silver paint around the window molding on both of them. Okay, so that's good. Wheel-wise, this is always the hard one to get down. Let's try to focus between the two. They're both pretty good, but I know Kyosho is always good, probably a little bit better. Let's look at these rear wheels. I'm going to assume... Come on, there we go. Those are supposed to be the same wheels. Auto World did paint. They paint the little red, and it looks like there's a darker color in here. Where Kyosho excels is those slots are actually passing air. You can actually see light passing through. You don't get that with the Auto World, right? It's a blanked off wheel. So that's a wash really. Do you want to have more color or more realistic form? The Auto World does have printing on the tire, so that's more realistic. I do find that this tire is rounder, is bulging out more. This is still concave, so I think that's a wash as well. The problem with the Auto World is look at the blocks on the side blocks. They look like truck tires. They're too big. Kyosho doesn't have so much, almost non-existent, and that's the way street radials look in the real world, right? Look outside on your street car. Can you see side blocks like that? You don't really see that until you get into trucks. Going to the bottom, same tires. Look at this, the fine treads Kyosho does. These look too blocky. They look a little too rough and crude. Metal base. I know some people seem to love that. They I don't know why, because who displays their models upside down? But for some reason, people think heaviness is better value. Of course, go and tell that to like Ferrari or Koenigsegg if they could ask you to make a steel car instead of a carbon fiber one, and see what their response is. I prefer plastic because it's lighter to ship the model, and also if it falls off, it might be less resistant to damaging something because it weighs less. But if you're gonna strip cars apart and repaint them, then I can understand why you might want metal, because you might repaint this or something like that. Both of them are riveted together, so that kind of stinks for modifiers. It's going to be hard to do wheel swaps and repaint the interiors. Okay. This one has some silver paint, plastic exhaust, casted in metal exhaust. Alright, that's the bottom. Let's go to the back here. So, painted rear taillights aren't usually so bad, but again, clear taillights, you can see the light bouncing around in there because it's thick plastic, so it's almost mimicking the depth of a light bucket behind the lens. So naturally I give Kyosho the thumbs up there. You can see the grille texture is much finer on this Kyosho, whereas it's a bit cruder and not painted as well there in this case. Mach 1 looks really clean and crisp here. Granted, this huge text. I can't focus on this Auto World one, but that's not really legible. I don't know what that says. So I'm going to give it up to Kyosho for that. There's a little lock detent. I don't see it on this one. Fuel filler. The license plate. Yeah. Definitely like the license plate. But the wing here, this is approaching Hot Wheels crudeness. The width of this wing strut and the wing itself. Whereas Kyosho, look how thin it is. This is more hobby grade, toy grade. Okay. Again, different years, but I'm gonna guess the rear ends of these cars, the whole chassis is supposed to be identical. So much tighter, thinner molds here as far as the window silver molding. This one is a little bit thicker, but this one's rounded up here. This one's square, so I'm not sure which is more accurate. I have to look at photos. Going back to this side, oh, there's a metal base. I don't want to scratch the roof. Another thing, yeah, a plastic base isn't going to scratch the paint of this roof. Okay. I guess both of them are pretty good with the side printing. I will say that Auto World beats out with the reflectors because this is actually molded. There's a recess in both. This is just a flat red rectangle printed on the surface. So molded in, painted here, just painted. Both of them, the thinness of these lines, the gaps, I don't know, seems a little nicer. For some reason, the little silver line here, I don't know, it's not equal. Like the green, I think it just doesn't look as clean. But that's a hard one to do. Those are really thin. So side glass, not a fan of. Fan of no glass because then you can see the interior a little bit better, right? And so again, you can just look, you can see right into the Auto World. You can see all the ribbing of the seats, nice and easy because it's a lighter green plastic. Kyosho, you got the distortion of the window, it's black. You can't see anything without a flashlight almost. Yeah, so. Alright, wiper blades. I can see some indication of wiper blades, although they are too small. But Auto World has none. So that's kind of a total absence there. Alright, both of them do roll. Not every Kyosho rolls, but this one rolls really well. I think it depends on the design of the car. And then I think almost all Auto Worlds roll. It's something that they would really believe in. With classic cars, it's easy to do because they're supposed to have a big gap between the tire and the body. But with the more modern ones, yeah, maybe not. Alright, let me get a coaster. Well, guys, there's good and bad about each brand. If I had a time machine and could go back and buy this at the original asking price, it's a no-brainer. Kyosho all the way, just because it has the clear headlights and taillights. But at today's prices, things do start to change. I mean, what people are asking for this on eBay is obscene. But if you love this Mustang, it's kind of like something you should seriously consider getting, because it is a more realistic model, I think. The fact that it has side mirrors is a pretty big thing as far as the realism of a vehicle. I also like the rear wing. It's just thinner. The grille texture, thinner. But the license plates, no, you can see the interior. It is a nicer interior as far as color choice. So again, a lot of good and bad. What do you guys think? Which one would you go with under today's conditions? And then I think we all know the answer if it was an alternate universe where we could buy things for the original asking price. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully this helps someone new to collecting. You know, just 2 years ago I was brand new myself, so I try to help out and keep you guys from buying a lot of bad models, which I seem to do. But both of these are pretty nice, so I guess I'm pretty happy with both of them. Thanks for watching. See you guys. Bye now.